What is your name? Where are you from?
My name is Kenzi, and I'm from Virginia.
Virginia, all right. Virginia is for lovers. Is that true?
I mean, yeah.
Is that what it says on your license plate?
It does actually, yeah.
Okay, now, what can you tell me about Virginia?
What do you want to know?
What's the people like? What's the wildlife? I mean, the scenery.
Where I'm from, I mean, Virginia is a pretty big state. So where I'm from the mountains. The people there, I would say, overall are conservative. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's mountains.
They friendly?
Yeah, very friendly, very kind. Yeah.
All right, now, what were your first impressions coming to New York?
I've been coming to New York for a long time, but it was definitely culture shock for me. I couldn't imagine people actually living here. But now, it's, where else would you want to be? Right.
All right, now, what do you miss about Virginia?
I miss my car. I miss the ease of just being able to go somewhere and knowing there's a parking lot that I can park and just, the convenience of everything.
Yeah. I feel that as well.
Yeah.
Because I left New York and I went to South Carolina and came back, and it was just so nice to be able to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And not be sitting in traffic. Here, sometimes you'll be traveling 1 mile and it takes you half an hour
Exactly.
to get 1 mile. And the noise, right?
All the time.
That was hard to get used to as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now is Facebook still relevant?
I think Facebook is relevant. I think as a marketing tool, it's huge. I think I found a lot of jobs on Facebook. Facebook Market page is really relevant for me. But I do think the traditional use for it, which was keeping up with people, it's more with the older generation now.
Well, I forgot to ask you, what brought you to New York?
New York brought me to New York. Honestly, it's always been a dream. So I got an opportunity to come, so I took it.
All right, now, can you do a New York accent? The New York accent.
That's all. I'll do your. No, not really.
No, not really? Can you do any accent?
I can do a British.
What does a Virginia accent sound like?
Virginia accent sounds like this.
Like that?
Yeah.
But it's not very southern.
No, it's not. But I'm from Virginia, so
Yeah.
Virginia accent.
So can you tell another person is from Virginia by the way they talk or no?
I would say no, because I definitely have friends that have like a very thick Southern accent, and then I have people that nothing at all like me. So.
All right, now, do men or women have it easier in this world?
I think it's a hard question to answer. I would say generally it would be easier to be a man, money-wise, opportunity-wise in some ways. But I think as a woman, though, you also get a lot of opportunities that men wouldn't get. Overall safety is the biggest one, though. You can't really protect yourself as a woman. But other than that,
Let me ask you this. Do you have any brothers?
I do, yeah.
Who got better grades?
Grades? I wouldn't even know. Maybe similar.
Who got in more fights?
I would say neither of us, maybe me.
Who has had better luck finding love?
Me, but he's young.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who gets in trouble more?
Who gets in trouble? I would say I'm more of a troublemaker than him.
And finally, who has had better luck finding work?
Better luck finding work?
Work, yeah. A job.
I would say me, but the thing is, I'm 22, he's 16.
So he doesn't have like a part-time job? Right?
He does. He works for Starbucks.
Okay, so both of you have jobs.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, now, you ready for the next question?
Yeah.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
My strengths and that's really broad.
You want to answer it for her?
No.
Okay.
That's broad.
Let me skip to the next question then.
Okay.
If you could redo any part of your life, what would it be?
Any part of my life, I would redo high school.
How would you have done it differently?
I would have been more present. I would have done better
Studied harder?
grades-wise.
Yeah.
I could have done better. I really didn't give a fuck. And I mean, looking back now, it's not really that important, but what else did I have going on? I should have been doing what I needed to do, you know?
Do you think that what you did in high school affects your life as an adult? Or do you think it's not connected? The two are not connected?
I mean, what do you mean, what they teach us in high school?
No. I mean, like, how well you did in high school. Does it affect you later on in life or no?
It could have. I didn't go to college.
So you could have been an F student or an A student. It wouldn't matter to you right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, maybe if I was an A student and I had gotten a scholarship, maybe I would have gone to school. But I do think degrees in general right now, they're not as valuable as they used to be. I don't feel like I need one to be successful. But I of course would like to have one to fall back on. So if I could go back and do it over again, I would have applied myself a little more, and that would have affected me, you know?
So you would have taken the college route?
That's a hard decision. I don't know. I think if I had been privileged enough to have it paid for, yes, absolutely. If not, no.
Because it's a very controversial question.
Okay.
If you could time travel, what year would you go to?
If I could time travel, what year would I go to?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good question. I feel
Either
like,
past or future.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, when you put that into the mix,
Yes.
I think I would probably go to the future. I would probably skip about 10 years ahead because I don't think that would give too much away, but I think it would give me something to look forward to.
You want to see how you turned out?
Right, yeah, just
wanna
to make
see what
sure
your kids
I'm
look like?
surviving, yeah. If I was not in New York, where would I be? Realistically, I'd probably be in Virginia. If I had a choice, I'd probably be in Paris.
Why Paris? I get that a lot. Why Paris?
I think when you're so obsessed with like urban life and big cities, cities that are worth being a part of, you think New York and then you think Paris.
Speak French?
I do not, but I would like to, and I would like to learn. It'd be a good opportunity.
Been there many times?
I've been there once. Yeah.
Okay, now, would you still work if you had a trust fund of $5,000 a month?
$5,000 a month.
Or would you just live off that money?
I wouldn't say I would work. I definitely would not work a 9 to 5. But I would definitely use that money to invest and, you know, something to take up some time. Yeah, take advantage of that opportunity.
All right, now, where were you all coming from before you came to this park?
We came from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn? Mm-hmm. Where are you all going once you leave here?
We're going to eat.
To eat? What are you having?
Mediterranean food.
Okay. Are you Mediterranean?
I am not, no.
I like Mediterranean.
Me too.
They do like what, kebabs and stuff? Is that?
Kebabs, like hummus, falafel.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You recommend any restaurants out there?
In Brooklyn?
Anywhere.
Olio FQ, really good carbonara. Cebu in Bay Ridge, amazing. Positanos.
Alright, now, where have you visited? What states, countries?
I've been to a lot of states. I would say everything on the East Coast I've been to. I've been to Texas. I've been to Arizona. Yeah. You used to be a flight attendant. Right?
Really?
Yes.
So you've seen it all.
Just about everything on the East Coast for sure.
What can you tell us about being a flight attendant? I had somebody come on this thing and say she wanted to become a flight attendant. What can you tell us about the industry?
Right now it's a really hard industry to tap into, but it's fun, it's different. You're not gonna have another job like it. And if you don't have a reason, like you don't want to be at home, go for it. Like it's a great opportunity, of course.
So is it true that you have to do domestic flights first before you do international, or can you jump straight into international?
Yes and no, depends on what airline you go to. There's regional airlines, which which mostly just do, within a region, just the East Coast, for example. Or you have like United, which is going everywhere. When you're a new flight attendant, everything's based on seniority, so the longer you're there, the better trips you get. But you can definitely get an international trip, like on reserve, so it's possible.
Is it better to get the international or domestic? Because I don't want to be flying for like 15 hours.
Well, then it would be better for you to be regional, but some people want to go international. It's like it's a personal preference. Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I like shorter flights, but you typically have a shorter overnight. If it's a longer flight, you're gonna be there for longer. So depends what you're looking for.
Where do you want to go in the future?
Where do I want to go?
Countries?
The next place that I really want to go to is Cuba. It's still kind of encapsulated, and I want to see it before it's,
While
ruined.
Americans are allowed to go also.
Right, yeah.
Because I remember, I think before you weren't allowed to go, right?
Yeah, it's a ban, and well, basically nobody was able to go there, so it's kind of like encapsulated. They're still driving cars from like the 50s. The food, of course, is amazing. Architecture, everything's kind of been sealed from the rest of the world, so it's really interesting.
No crime.
What's that?
No crime.
Right, yeah, low, I'm sure.
I would love to go myself.
Yeah, it would be great.
Only in the winter time, though. I ain't trying to go there in the summer.
When it's really hot? Yeah.
All right, now, next question. How familiar are you with New York?
I would say somewhat familiar.
What are some good places to film videos like this in New York?
Good places?
Well, I'm like blocking your face.
Good places?
Yeah, good places to film in New York.
I mean, I guess it's like, who are you looking for? Are you looking for New Yorkers or tourists? You want tourists? Go
I
to
want
Times
people
Square.
who are willing to open up like yourself, talk about their lives, talk about their preferences, without being like too self-conscious.
I would say
because there's a
Brooklyn.
lot of people who are very self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Brooklyn for sure. You have like a younger community of more open people. Prospect Park.
Prospect Park?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. All right, now where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I hope I'm gonna be probably in New York. I mean, my only goal is just being like surviving. As long as I'm happy, like that's where I see myself. Happy.
Not married with kids?
No.
Not owning your own house?
I mean, that would be amazing, but I mean, in New York, no.
No?
Definitely not
Too
owning
expensive?
a house. Absolutely, yeah.
So you're perfectly happy renting?
I am, yeah. I think.
What do you think about the rental market these days? I heard that rent's gone down a lot.
Yeah, in New York, the deals are great right now. I mean, ideally, I'd love to like own a duplex and live in half of it, and then rent out the other half. But I mean, that's like, I would love to do that. Who knows where I'll be in 5 years?
All right, now during the lockdown in March and April, a lot of people had a lot of free time to either use it usefully or waste it. What did you do during those months?
Personally, I was in Virginia, so I was working. So I guess I was using it usefully. I mean, yeah, I'm already kind of a homebody, so nothing really changed for me.
Oh, you're
to be
a
honest.
homebody?
I am, for the most part.
So it's actually quite unusual to see you out here tonight then.
I have a goal this summer. I know it's not summer yet, but it's getting a little warmer, so I want to be, in the park one day a week, at the beach one day a week, and at the bar one day a week. Out. That's a goal. Take advantage of New York in the summer.
That's good that you're setting goals for yourself.
Absolutely.
I like that because a lot of people, they lack that discipline.
Right.
That drive. But you've got that.
For every part of your life, even social, you have to have it.
Yeah. What are some of your other goals? What are your social goals?
So my goals, I guess, bar one day a week, beach one day a week.
Couple of Instagram followers a week.
That wasn't a goal, but that'd be cool. I'd love to meet new friends like every week. I just want to be social. I want to be out meeting new people, having new experiences, taking advantage. So
how has that been for you meeting people here in New York? Because it's not easy. I meet hundreds of people every day, but who do I actually chill with?
Who do you connect with? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to make connections with people in general, but it's especially hard right now because of Corona. People are like standoffish. I do like Bumble BFF because it's like you're not going to the bar right now, so how are you meeting people?
What is that?
It's Bumble. It's like a dating app, but it's just for meeting friends. So I've met some cool
Male
people.
or female?
Yeah. Typically, if you put your female, you're gonna mostly get females, but there'll be a guy or two every now and then.
Right.
Yeah.
What's some advice you got for how to make connection here in New York? Because I think a lot of people are asking that very same question. People are feeling lonely. I had a New Yorker come on here a couple of weeks ago. He said that life is very lonely for him in New York, and he was born and raised here.
Yeah. I think New York is really cool because there's so many people, but it can feel really, really lonely. But I think that's something that's like unique about here because I do feel like I definitely felt lonely in other places that I've lived, but you don't have like such opportunity and so many different people. In New York, you know there's someone you can connect with. You just have to actually connect with them. So I think just being open to connection is the key. You know, like I'll be at a bar and I'll talk to anyone, you know. I'll be in a park, I'll talk to anyone. And I think just opening yourself up to those experiences and being willing to talk to people and be open is how you make connections. So you have to put yourself out there.
New York can be a scary place. Do you find that you are more defensive here compared to Virginia?
Absolutely.
So your guard is up when you're here.
Sure, because, you know, I know that area, I know what to expect, I'm used to it, it's my comfort zone. And then, you know, you're here in like a metropolis, so your guard needs to be up all the time anyways. That's why.
Now, speaking of that, how do you suss a person out? How do you decide or determine this person can be trusted or this person is a threat?
I'm very bad at that.
Because that's something that you have to do on a daily basis here in New York because you don't know who's, you know, trying to get something out of you.
Right.
Or who is, you know, genuine. Just, you know, friendly. You know, they just want to make small talk or whatever it is.
I'm very naive about that. I'm not good at telling, honestly. Like, I might be naive in saying this, but I think where I come from, most of the time if somebody's trying to talk to you, it's for good reason, you know, good intentions. And it's not always the case here. And I learned that the hard way here. You know, you can't just give anyone your lighter. You can't just hold the door for anyone without them expecting something. So I would say I cannot give advice on that one because I do not know myself. I'm figuring it out.
What has happened to you?
The other day I was in Central Park and I was with a friend. Somebody came up to me with a camera. I thought he seemed like, you know, a normal, like, New York photographer. You see him all the time. He seemed normal. He asked me for a lighter. My first reaction was pull out my lighter and hand it to him. And he ended up being really creepy, telling my friend, you know, oh, I wish you were 14, taking pictures of you right now, I'm recording you, you know. It was weird.
So he wasn't after the lighter?
No, he didn't need the lighter. No, he was getting footage.
You know, I actually had, not something similar happened to me, but I was walking on Broadway. This guy hands me a CD. I mean, who uses CDs anymore anyway?
Right.
Hands me a CD, and he's like, give me a tip. So he's like, I'm an artist, so I just gave you the CD, give me a tip.
No.
And then like I tried to hand it back to him, he's like, no, give me money. So, you know, that it's like these kinds of things that happen to you that make you kind of be more like suspicious of him.
Right.
And you know, I don't know if you've seen the guy, but there's a guy.
No, that happened to me too. Not the CD, but like a Buddhist guy in Times Square or near Rockefeller Center. He put a bracelet on me, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, "No, it costs money. Give me a donation." I'm like, "No, take your bracelet back." He didn't want it back, of course, but.
Body language are you giving out if you want a man to approach you? Let's say a guy is checking you out from across this park. He wants to approach you. What kind of signals do you send to him to indicate that it's okay to approach?
If I wanted someone to approach me, I would make eye contact with them probably.
What about negative signals? If you don't want him to approach you, what kind of signals do you send to him?
Avoid the eye contact at all costs.
Okay, now, I know you said that was the last question, but let me give you one more question.
Okay.
Now, you said you had some bad experiences here in New York. You're defensive. What made you want to do this video? because I could be like a weirdo and say, hey, I'm not really trying to make a video. Let's go back to my place.
Right. Well, like I said, in order to make connections, you have to be open to making connections. And New York is the kind of city where it's like you have to be on guard, but you also have to be open and able to enjoy it. So I think if you ended up being creepy, I would have dipped super fast. And that would have been it.
You gotta take some risks sometimes.
Huh?
You gotta take some risks sometimes.
Right, exactly.
All right, now do you want to plug any of your social media?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's hear it. Your social media.
Instagram, MPATT, MPATTT_.
Okay, now, do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
My best friend right here.
Shout out to
Alicia.
Virginia too.
And shout out to Virginia.
Wait, how did y'all meet, by the way?
We met on Tinder.
On Tinder. All right, so something good can come out of that.
Absolutely.
Great,
Absolutely.
Great, fantastic. You met your best friend on Tinder. You heard it here first.
My soulmate.
It does work.
Yeah.
All right, now do I have your permission to put this on the internet?
Absolutely.